Today is March 2nd. This is Michael B. And I'm going to be your host on another podcast message. This is going to be the fourth in the series in what I call the attachment override moment, referring specifically to romance scam. All right. So I appreciate you tapping in with me today. I appreciate all those who've already done so and continue to stay with me as we continue to examine romance scams, why they are so prevalent, why they're actually epidemic globally, and why they continue to be so. Right now, I'm not an alarmist, and I don't want to come at you today with you thinking that that's what I am or the message I am delivering today. But what I will say is that this could be your very last chance to walk away while you're still intact if you are in a romance scam relationship, or if you're thinking about getting into one of these. You may not even realize it. All right. And I'm gonna speak to that in a minute, but at this point in time, essentially there may not have been any money that's been asked for or about. There's really no dramatic event that's occurred. All right, but something critical is happening. There is a significant shift in your relationship, and it's going from friendship into romance. All right, you're approaching the attachment override moment in what I refer to as the attachment override model, or a romance scam, as it's typically known in law enforcement and around the globe. All right. So I want to introduce that concept to you, which maybe new, maybe not. But as we continue these podcasts, if you hear me mention the attachment override model or attachment override, I'm referring to specifically to a romance scam. All right. So I want to let you know that that model is being introduced with this podcast and what it references. Alrighty. The and I also that the easiest door to close is one that you that you never walk through, and we'll talk down through that as well. Because I want to let you know that you're going to get some kind of innocuous message. It's going to be where your computer gives you that little ding, and you know somebody has pinged you somehow, and you're going to see that message that says, "Hi, it's me. I liked your posts. I'm just looking for new friends. Can we talk?" There's going to be an open-ended invitation for you to continue that discussion. Okay. I'm just going to let you know that as soon as you respond to that, you didn't know that you were in a game. The other person did. And you may shut me down, but I'm just going to let you know that you're being groomed. This this outward expression is deliberate, it's engineered, it's looking from a response from you, and that this grooming process is sequential. All right. And you can't win at a game that you don't know you're playing. And you you really may not at this point in time. But as soon as you respond back to that first message, you're really seriously in trouble. You're in trouble of losing financially. You're in trouble of losing your relationships with your family, with your friends, with your business colleagues. You're really in danger of losing everything. You're in danger of losing your peace. I don't know if you've ever lost your peace, but that's pretty important as well, and it can have devastating results. So I just want to let you know that this relationship that you're in, all right, and it doesn't really depend upon where it is on the spectrum, but you're going to see where this friendship starts to become much deeper than that. We've already talked about the initial cues. We've already talked about the escalation. This is just another form of escalation. You're going to find that it goes deeper. All right. The language is going to escalate intentionally from you're important, you're different, I've never felt this way to I love you. All right. That is so intentional. And that is a hook that's getting set, and it's getting set so deep that it's going to be almost impossible to get that loose. And again, when I say that is being set intentionally, that's exactly what I mean. Okay. It doesn't matter who says it first. And they may even say, I won't say that unless I mean it. All right. Because they want that hook to be set so deeply that it just will not come out. All right. And the conversation, again, is being guided to this level. Not every conversation, but you're going to find that most conversations are engineered and deliberate. They're getting to this point, right? Because this level of intimacy, and that's why they call it romance scam, is because if they can get this established, right? That level of intimacy, there's a difference, and you can feel it if you just role play it yourself. Hey, you're really important to me. Does that hit as hard as I love you? I don't think it does. I love you sets off biological changes within the body. Okay, I won't get into the biology of it, right? But hormonal changes, changes in the brain, just that is the strength of love. That is the strength of emotion. And when people are on the outside looking in, your family, and even you, when you get ghosted and you've lost almost everything or everything, and you look at it then from an intellectual standpoint, you're going to say, I can't believe I wrote that. I can't believe I did that. That's not me. The problem is that it probably is you. You probably did write that. You probably meant it at the time that you wrote it. But that is my point. Emotions override intellect. All right. The red flags are still there, but because you're emotionally involved, because that is so deep, because that is so strong, you're going to walk by those. All right. So you need to pay attention to those. And again, that's why I used the attachment override model, because attachment or emotion overrides intellect in this situation. All right. And why are they pushing, or why are they guiding, why are they grooming you towards love? because love is so strong. Because love creates loyalty. Love creates obligation. Love creates protection. And these red flags don't disappear, they just get reinterpreted. All right. Victims don't miss red flags, they just either ignore them or they don't pay attention to them or they can rationalize them away. And that's why these romance scams are epidemic and growing. The strongest emotion in the room usually wins the argument, and love is one of the strongest emotions that the human race has. Now, I want to introduce an analogy. All right. If you take a thread, it's usually broken. All right. But these operators, these syndicates, these bots, these individuals, they're weaving themselves into your daily rhythm. They're weaving themselves into your pattern. They're weaving themselves into you. All the good mornings, all the good nights, all the shared vulnerabilities, the future talk, the future plans, the I love yous, thread by thread. They're weaving into your fabric. And I hope that that picture makes some sense, because that picture in your head, that's exactly what they're doing. And if you do not delete, block, and walk, I just can't tell you the propensity that you're opening yourself up to, the situation that you're going to incur, the losses that you're going to realize, the loss of everything. You are putting everything that you hold dear at risk. So please delete, block, and walk. The longer they remain woven in, the more chances that you give them to thread themselves into the fabric of your life, the harder separation is going to become. And it's far easier to cut a thread than to untangle a knot or to separate a fabric. All right. Some of the last comments that I want to make is that this is pivotal. Going from friendship to love is a pivotal sequence in this plan, in this game, and it is, the odds are stacked against you. You just don't have any idea what you're involved in right now. All right. And I'm hoping that your involvement is at the very beginning so you can delete, block, and walk. All right. Now, some of the things that I'm sharing with you may not be quite identical with yours, but romance scams follow patterns. We've talked about many of them. All right. And pattern recognition is protection. And if there's even one fit, all right, just one, that should cause you to sit back and go, hey, this is something that Michael B is talking about, and I need to pay attention to it. Because awareness isn't cynicism, it's defense. And awareness does not make you cynical, it makes you protected. But in closing, please recognize that friendship at some point in time is going to go from friendship to love. And that's when you're in serious trouble. And you need to recognize that. Delete, block, and walk, please. That's what you need to do to protect yourself. I'll catch you on the next podcast. I appreciate your time and listening. If you have any comments, please share those. And thank you very much.